Not random with you seeing you have on the Zoom we just go out. Or the hours off, but it's like, I just want to show up on there. That's don't be mine. Just got to messing around, but we were just having problems with audio. Sorry,
The camera was like wet. All of a sudden.
now it's bad. It was having signal issues. Is what it said on the
She had house. Posting every day.
Let's see the gear.
Okay,
Never mind.
Oh, sorry.
Fisher.
Oh, you have a seat.
Yeah.
People can.
Back to those.
I'll take a pic. So, first, let's say. Yeah, it's good. You can stay out there after the class.
I think it's fine. Not yet class. That way. I'll leave. Leave.
Uh-oh. Go. Power.
All right, return to order. We'll keep making our way through the agenda. Next up, we have Pre-I Health Club. Thank you all for being here.
I'm Isa and I'm the president of the Pre-I.
My name is Lexi and I'm the vice president of the Pre-I Health Club.
And we did send like a little okay. But just kind of to start off, we just wanted to for the mission statement, just kind of give you an idea of where it is.
So I'll just briefly read what our mission statement is, but basically our organization is centered around inclusivity, education, outreach, collaboration, and building a community where students can deepen their interest and discover a passion surrounding eye health and vision science. We're building up students' confidence and helping them feel prepared when pursuing medically based professions.
So that's kind of just like a general idea of what our club is. And just starting off, so we do meet bi-weekly per term, and we just got ASUO recognized in the spring of 2025. So we unfortunately did not have a budget for the 2025-2026 fiscal year, so that's why we're coming to surplus today. We are requesting $475 just to last us through the next 2 terms, our last 9 meetings. And so just kind of a breakdown of what we want to use expenses for is glasses cases. We could just use them, get approximately 10. They're usually around $5 or $6, so they're not super expensive. We want to get an eye model, which is $60. That would be a one-time purchase, so we can use that for years and years. I think it'd be great. A lot of medical offices have those, and it would give a chance for our members to kind of teach one another the different eye anatomy. We do also want to do a cow eye dissection, which is $55. These are really small kits that come with like individually cow eyes, which sounds crazy, but not super unsanitary. It's very clean, comes with like little scalpel, probe, scissors, so really easy cleanup. And we'd get about 4 kits. And then in terms of breakdown of like snacks would be about $150. That would last us through the rest of the year. So we would use those for typical events, and just maybe at the end of the year, we do bigger things like pizza. And then in terms of like decoration, stationery supplies, this would be more if we have a plan to do like clay models that we make and clay magnets that we do with the collaboration with the pre-pharmacy club. So just kind of something fun and interactive, as well as getting stuff for tabling events that we don't really have. And if we did promotional stickers, just to kind of be able to advertise our club. We are a smaller organization, so I think having that sort of promotional advertisement opportunity is kind of cool. So.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for sharing. We will open up to questions, starting with Senator Questenberry.
Thank you for coming. As someone who needs glasses to see, I am totally here for some eye health. So I think this looks great. I will personally.
Unallocated.
Okay. I will personally be passing on the cow eye dissection, but I'm here for everything else. I'll make the motion. I move to authorize spending from unallocated reserves to Group Pre-I Health Club, OS number OS386I, in the amount of $475 to line item events request.
Second for Rez. Motion made by Questenberry, seconded by discussion. Press.
Yeah, guys, thanks for being here. Great presentation. My only question is, do you guys have somewhere to put this stuff, like the eye model
We
cases?
were hoping to request a locker in like the Souls upstairs. Unfortunately, that's like the only location that we know of. Anything, I'd probably keep track of it, or if we could just locker somewhere on campus, we could do that.
Have you had any update from the Souls?
Oh, not yet. I had gone up there and they had said it takes honestly like probably till next year to be able to get a locker, just because they're all reserved right now.
Do you know of any way you can get a lockbox video next? I believe it just has to be locked up to some degree. And if we allocate these funds now, they just have to be spent in this fiscal year. So
Okay.
any way you can get.
I can come up with something.
Yeah, it's a small amount of money, so I feel like we should, if we want to approve it, we should approve it.
Would they allow it in like the rec center? Like, cause I know they have lockers there.
I think it has to be like a area, but we'll work on that. If you reach out to me after, we'll make sure we're gonna have the chat.
I can definitely submit it.
Yeah,
Senator Fisher.
I was gonna say, do you have any access to like faculty members who might be able to keep it in the office or in this building where the club meets at all?
Not within the building, because we do meet in the AMU. I am in anatomy lab LA. We have like the cadaver lab. We might have like lockers in there where they might let us keep it.
Yeah, just so I yield.
Senator Stevenson.
On that same note, the science library, they also have lockers.
Okay.
So,
We
yeah,
didn't know that, yeah.
Yeah,
So
why
we
did you-
can do that for sure.
Yeah.
thank you, I yield.
Yeah.
All right, we got a motion on. There's no more questions. We will move to vote now. It is gonna be by acclamation. So all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. And the motion's passed. Congrats, guys. Senator Chisholm.
And remove from the table the request for patient identification.
Second, Vincent.
Motion made by Chisholm to remove the request from the table, seconded by Stevenson. Those in favor say aye. Those opposed say nay. We'll now hear the request from Persian Student Association. Thanks for being here tonight.
Hello, hi. My name is Shayan. I'm the president of Persian Student Association.
And I'm Ava, I'm the vice president.
So we're here today to ask for $350 surplus. I don't know how many of you have seen what's happening inside Iran right now in social media or news, but to just give you a brief summary, since December 28th, a huge protest started happening inside Iran. And since then, the government kind of started massacring and shooting people inside Iran. And since then, all the communication and internet have been shut down inside Iran. So all the people, all the Iranian students here that have anyone inside Iran, one family, a loved one, are unable to check if they're in danger, hurt, or if they're okay. And because of everything that's going on, there is a lot of pressure, stress, and basically a lot of anxiety for all the students that are here at UO. And at the Persian organizations at UO, we're trying our best to provide them with every support, every resources that we can get from different departments. And we're hoping to get $350 for some emergency meeting next week that we're planning to have in order to basically provide them with some resources and create some environment. I allow the rest of the talk to explain.
Yeah, so let me lower this.
You can take it out if you want.
Oh, perfect. To go off what Shayan said, I think our community is being really impacted. I personally have not heard from my family in like 2 weeks, and I've been absolutely tweaked out about it. And it's just hard to go to school, do my daily tasks, and other people in the club have been experiencing the same thing. I've been speaking to them, and we really do believe if we have this meeting where we have food, where we can talk and just talk and cry, it would really be helpful for all of us because we feel really isolated. I mean, some people have lost contact with their parents, like they're here, like they don't have any family here, and yeah, so I just really think that this would be really beneficial to us, it's, like necessary, and we've also been in contact with other organizations, and we're planning on doing a group therapy with the health center, I believe. And
You're currently shortening the budget for the other events that you're going to have for the rest of the year. And for even the event that we're going to have for our previous event, we had to spend some of the money that we restored for our next event. So we really don't want to touch those like budget at all. So that's the whole reason that we have this money so that can spend it on like next week to have like some sort of group therapy to introduce the resources that are here at UO for all the running that we need.
yeah, you know, food brings everyone together, and in these times, it can just be really difficult to even get out of bed. So just some nutrition, you know, you don't have to cook, you can eat. But yeah, that's it.
Thank you guys. This sounds like a very awesome, very reasonable request. I think communities support, especially if it's a crisis. So it definitely makes sense to me. We'll move to discussion and we'll start with Senator Fisher.
I have no questions. I'm so sorry. I'm just gonna make the motion. I move to authorize spending from surplus to Group Persian Student Association OS number OS 320I and the amount $350 to existing line item socials.
Second, Questman.
And I just wanted to say, I am so sorry, and it is, I honestly can't believe that you came here and did this, and I appreciate you so much, and I hope you guys have a great time.
Good night.
Motion made by Fisher, seconded by Questafari. Senator Chisholm.
I've also been just making a motion. Thank y'all so much for coming today, and like communities, everything. So I appreciate it.
We'll go to vote then. We can vote by acclamation. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. And the motion is approved. Congrats, guys. Moving forward on the agenda, we have the American Society of Landscape Architects. Welcome back.
Hey y'all, I'm Aiden. I'm the treasurer of the American Society of Landscape Architects Oregon Student Chapter.
Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm the Environmental Design Outreach for ASUO.
And we're here to request $1,077 for merch, 35 hats, and 35 travel mugs with our org's logo. We're hoping to foster inclusion and spread the word about landscape architecture. So this will help us meet those goals.
The landscape architecture department is really tight knit, and we wanted to create like some kind of thing that unites us all. And people have been expressing the desire for, you know, physical pieces of merch. So we went out and put out like interest forms in all the studios. So every person who would get one, like we made sure that they wrote down their name and signed that they wanted something. And so we wanted to make sure that we're not just ordering things that people don't want. So 35 people are going to get a hat, 35 people are going to get a travel mug. I think Aiden already said each thing is about $15 each. So we're good on the merch area, but yeah.
We also cleared the logo already with UO branding, so that's all here as well. Yeah, that's everything. Thank you.
Great. Thank you guys for sharing. First question. When's the last time you guys bought merch?
We have never bought merchandise.
Okay, thank you.
we have merch, but people paid for it themselves.
Okay.
But we've never asked for it. Yeah.
And then American Society of Landscape Architect, is it like the logo is going to be on it is like the national thing, or is it like a UO specific logo for your guys' club?
There was a student design logo that initially had UO in it, but we used UO, so it just says like designed by the student. Yeah.
I have a question. Did you guys say 1,077?
Yes.
Okay, just because the request I have in here says 1,153, so I just wanted to like double check. So it's definitely the 1,077 number,
I'm guessing that's with shipping, my mistake. Yeah, the higher number.
the higher number. Okay. So yeah, then in that case, I'll just go ahead and make the motion. I move to authorize spending from surplus to group American Society of Landscape Architects, OS number OS284I, in the amount of $1,153.
Second.
Motion made by Madariaga, seconded by Stevenson.
I yield.
Do we have any more questions? Starting with this, Smith.
Aye.
Broussard.
Aye.
Hopperday.
Aye.
Anderson.
Aye.
Amadiepe. Jacob Hiscox. Ism. Nagaraju.
Aye.
Stevenson. Aye. Purdue.
Aye.
Morel. Mariaga. Fisher.
Aye.
Westbury. Goodman. And I say aye as well. Congrats, guys.
Thank you.
And next up, we have the Women's Accounting and Finance Club. Welcome back. Thank you for being here.
We made a presentation today. Is there any way we can connect to the screen or?
Cool.
You can email it to me at sendvicepres. It's just at uoregon.edu, and then I can go.
You said stent?
SCN vice and then pres.
Then vice pres.
At uoregon.
Yeah, it says that it's sent.
Just out of curiosity, when we were trying to transition to the next slide, do you control that?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
tell us the click.
You can just let me know. Yeah.
So, okay, I'm gonna be like all. Okay, so hi everybody, we are the Women's Accounting and Finance Club, or WAC. I'm Emma. I'm Wendy, and basically, yeah, we're just gonna go over a little bit about us, and we're gonna talk about our goals, what this funding would mean to us, and then we're also gonna talk about what we've done and how this money is gonna be used, and obviously just a surplus breakdown. And you can go ahead. About us, this is that lovely photo. We can go to the next one now. Okay, so basically WAP is a space where women and non-binary folk can come together to build genuine connections as well as have access to professional networking opportunities. So we want to give them hands-on learning and we want to give them opportunities that they wouldn't have. So what do we actually do? We've been operating for about 18 months now, and we hold bi-weekly meetings. We've held over 15 now, and within that, we've had guest speakers from notable alumni. We've had field building workshops. We've had joint meetings with other clubs. So the OBA club, we're about to do a collab with Women in Econ. We've done craft nights just for general bonding, obviously so fun. And then we also did partnerships with the Financial Wellness Center to do a budgeting workshop. That was one of my favorites. And then also we have 2 industry site visits. One that we just completed in Portland to Grant Thornton, huge success. It was so much fun. And we have an upcoming one to Seattle in April. So now we're gonna have our goal, what we want to do. So our big overarching goal is just to promote the inclusion of women and non-binary folk within these business spaces. We want to give them a supportive community that they might not have. There we go. Next. So more specifically though, it's about creating opportunities to engage with industry professionals. We want to provide high quality career readiness plans, and we just want to build a strong community within Lillis for the members to connect. Why does this actually matter? I know I can speak for my own behalf that Lillis and academics in general can be very overwhelming and very intimidating. There are so many people, and it is so hard to decide which club to join, who you're supposed to sit with in class. WAC offers an actual close-knit community that you can sit with in class and build genuine friendships that you take with you through all 4 years. And then I'm just gonna briefly touch on some of the opportunities that we've already created.
So we have a Grant Thornton mentorship program that started because they were our guest speakers and it went so well that they were interested in doing an ongoing mentorship program with us. There's been networking with Merrill Lynch that actually led to one of our members getting an internship through their communications. And then upcoming, we're having a KPMG and Alvarez and Marsalis site visit in April.
All right, thank you, Emma. Now, we just wanted to give you guys some updates since our last Senate meeting. Next slide. Recently, what we've been up to, like Emma mentioned, we've had that mentorship from Grant Thornton as well as that site visit. Currently, we're recruiting students for next year's exec board, and that process is going well through processes and interviews. And we also just recently wrapped the winter waddle tabling. We also have been currently planning out our travel surplus that you guys granted us recently. Thank you again. We finalized our site visits. As you can see on the screen, we're currently tracking head counts as well for attendance. We are securing transportation. We have secured hotels as well, and food expenses are currently being planned out. Next slide, please. Looking ahead, we have that Seattle site visit as mentioned. We have many collaborations such as Women in Econ. We have a current one with the Oregon Investment Group coming up in a few weeks on week 6. And we had that guest speaker from Merrill Lynch coming back. Next slide, please. And now here will be our surplus breakdown. Before we get into that, I just wanted to answer the question of why now. Why are we asking surplus money now? Why not in the fall? Because I know that might be a question you guys are wondering about. First, we really wanted to cultivate a community within that first quarter. We were focusing on recruiting members, building attraction to this community so people can see that we exist. We were also growing on club collaborations such as the OBA Club, Women in Economics, More Career Services, the Financial Wellness Center. We were also trying to increase member retention by increasing attendance since the fall. We also have been getting regular support from our executives to our members that they are willing to stay. And we have been focusing on fundraising efforts such as our thrift pop-up we did right here outside of the EMU, as well as bottle returns. So food and materials wasn't our top priority. We were focusing on just building that community, those members. That's why we didn't come earlier. And on top of that, it's just really hard for us to navigate the whole process as a new club. This is our first time we've ever done this, so it's very difficult to us to just find the forms, who to talk to. We've gone in multiple times in person in the ASUO suite, and many times no one was there, even during the allocated office hours. We talked to Souls, Softs, so it's very difficult. Finally made it, got to this point, so thank you guys for just listening to us right now. Really appreciate it. Next thing. Now, to go over our surplus for this year, we are requesting $2,500, and now I'll break it down for you guys. So we are requesting for a line item of winter and spring event costs at $1,500. I broke it down into 2 parts for food expenses. Of course, it'll be UO vendor approved. We have snacks, drinks, and hot food, about $7. These are estimates that are based off online vendors from on their websites, and of course talk to other clubs and see what they're able to come up with and do the same. We also have craft supplies at $500. These materials are important for our events because they provide substance to what we're doing and gives members this is their events, this is what they're doing. We have physical items that we're able to provide for them to interact with. Next slide, please. And then we have advertising costs at $1,000. We have an estimated $650 expense for merchandise, which we are planning to use to make hoodies for all our members. And it comes down to $25 per hoodie for 25 of our members, which is all of our members. This includes shipping and handling costs and other add-on costs as well that we got from an online vendor. Next slide, please. These are the hoodies, just for reference, pretty simple. Next slide, please. Going along with those advertising costs, within the $1,000 is also $350 allocated to supplies and material costs. This would be things such as flyers
tabling materials, like handouts, which would be less than $10 per person and we can use to give out to whoever wants. And then also a banner of $167, which I also got as an estimate from an online vendor as well, that we could use now and for the rest of the club's ongoing run. Next slide, please. This is kind of a mock-up of our banner, so we can really increase visibility of who we are, so that people in Lillis walking in or when we have our clubs can see that we are present and here for them. Next slide, please. Yeah, and I just wanted to briefly wrap this up and want you guys to think about the opportunities that we can make with this surplus. Everything we've done with $0 and spent money out of our own pockets, just so we can provide a community for our fellow peers. If we receive this surplus, we'll be able to elevate our community, grow these opportunities for our peers, and just give more support to our community. So we just wanted to thank you tonight for hearing us out and really appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you guys so much. I'm really sorry to hear about your struggles that you had, like getting in contact with us. I'd love to talk sometime and just get feedback and things like that to make that better for us going forward. So thank you. We open up deliberation, starting with Senator Perez.
So thank you guys, great presentation. Let's see the growth you guys are making, what you guys have done since last Senate. So I'll go ahead and make the motion. I'm going to authorize spending from unallocated reserves to group Women's Accounting Finance Club OS 391I, the amount of $2,500 to new line item which is
Second question.
Made by Perez, seconded by Questenberry, and to Senator Hopkins.
Okay, originally my question was gonna be about why you didn't have a ledger for the last year, but you answered that, like pretty much after I made my placard. How many people go to your meeting?
Around 20 to 25.
Okay, yeah.
Stevenson. I also wanted to always want to plug for this, and I have a clarifying question for Senator Perez. Is there a cutoff on the amount that we can give away for an item? What?
So that is something, we haven't ran into that issue yet, but that is a policy the Senate can set for itself. We haven't set a policy for that, and so we kind of just been going first names.
It's $50 per person before people get taxed. So when you're giving people merch and it's $25, if they have received another, like other gifts or other things throughout the year and it goes over $50, then they will be taxed. But that's why sometimes they like collect the 9.5s, and usually people know if they have received something or not, but
I haven't understood the question. Were you asking if there's a limit on an allocated reserve?
Oh, speakers would have been copy.
Oh, okay, my bad, I misunderstood. Very good.
Thanks, Rayo.
And close to list. Guys, motion on the floor. You can go to vote, starting with Perez. Aye. Ken?
Aye.
Stark? Aye. Competence?
Aye.
Heffernan?
Aye.
Amargete? Jacob Discox? Chisholm? Nagarajan? Stevenson? Aye. Purdue?
Aye.
Burrell? Dariaga? Fisher?
Aye.
Questenberry?
Aye.
Ludeman?
Aye.
Nice eye as well. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Have you guys gone through the UO branding?
No. He's in line. Yeah. Lunch and dinner.
Not yet.
That's,
Gotcha.
it's okay, the funds are allocated, but that is something you guys should do ASAP, like go through your branding, just I'll help you guys out and we'll all set up, so.
So thank you guys.
Yeah.
I was, sorry, I was.
It's okay. I was gonna ask about her sweater. It's too late. I love the purple sweater.
Thank you. It's an amazing place.
Where'd you get it?
Love democracy.
Honestly, fair enough.
Did not hear your second.
All right, well, let's restore order. Moving forward on the agenda, we have the graduate ecology and evolutionary biology students. Hello.
Hello. Yeah, we're graduate evolutionary biology and ecology students. I'm Rob Porch, the former treasurer of Reeves from last year. And we're requesting $780 from surplus for this stipend budget line. So long story short, last year, the October 2024 stipend were not issued to the officers from that year, the president, vice president, and myself, the treasurer. We had a pretty unexpected shakeup in the officers. The president stepped down unexpectedly, so we had to re-vote for a new president and vice president. So at the time, I wasn't sure what to do in terms of requesting the stipend for that month as treasurer. So I submitted an October 2024 request for stipend disbursement last year that was never responded to. And I was emailing Cindy Hetrick back and forth last year. I went to the ASUO office and they advised me to do that complete stipend disbursement form that was never responded to. So basically the $780 went back to surplus at the end of last year, which is why we're requesting that now so we can do a retroactive stipend disbursement to those officers.
Pre-plan that completely. Or we'll start with Senator Chris.
Have you talked to Merciful yet in PFC?
No, I talked to Quadrian though in December about it.
Sure.
Oh, okay. All right then. All right, it's all good. I usually
Get back on that. Senator Fisher.
Probably the same thing that Senator Perez was talking about, but I'm looking in the financial priorities regarding the stipends, and I'm wondering if the guidelines around additional seats apply to seats that have been switched in now. Does that make sense? You know what I'm saying? That's okay. I know, it's fine.
Are you referring to the officer change last year?
Yeah, but it's a let's say it again. Okay, so in our guidelines and from the Constitution, right, we can fund stipends, but only if it's a new a additional position that was created. And so my question is, because this is a new position, it's just
There's an exception that lies in there that basically if it goes through PFC or the PFC chair first, then we have the option to put on the agenda. I really have not been putting these stipend reimbursements on the agenda, but I felt like this one was just after talking, I felt like this was.
no, I agree. I'm all for grad students getting paid more. I'm just making sure we can't do it. I yield.
Do we, I should have a question for the more senior members here. Do we usually do stipends reimbursement or
Like I was saying, the stipend reimbursement process is something we generally don't do, but if it is going to happen, it starts through PFC, and if PFC has a recommendation that they think this is something that should be reviewed in any capacity, and then has the option to be put on the agenda. Generally, I haven't been doing that this year, especially for ones this far out, but I just felt like this was a special circumstance where there was just a lot of miscommunication by SOFs and stuff. I usually go through a process.
We also have guidelines for how we address stipend requests from surplus in our financial priorities. There's a section on stipends, and primarily it is when it's like a situation that had taken place that was like on the phone. So I'm so sorry.
But you guys are free to vote however you like. I'm just promising with you guys, so you guys feel fun and are good to vote. Okay. Request Mary.
I think y'all deserve to get paid, so I'm gonna make a motion. I move to authorize spending from surplus to group graduate ecology and evolutionary biology students, OS number OS 142I, in the amount of $780 to line item stipends.
Joseph.
Second, Fisher.
Motion made by Questenberry, seconded by Stevenson. This will vote by acclamation. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say nay. Nay. And the motion is approved. Thank you, guys.
Real quick, I reach back out to Cindy and try to authorize the stipends again. Just when it goes from surplus to your ledger, it won't like automatically get dispersed. So I definitely just check it.
So we'd have to like submit another disbursement form.
Yeah.
And next on the agenda, we have the neuroscience club. They bring it out.
Hi, everyone. I'm Driel. I'm the co-president and co-founder of the Neuroscience Club. I'm here to kind of talk to you guys about why we're here in the first place. So last fall, or this past fall, we were able to host a huge event called the Walk to End Alzheimer's on campus. It was the first ever time it was held on campus, and one of our biggest events. It had over 400 participants from the whole community, not only just Eugene, but Washington and Springfield, and just overall, it was a nationwide, well-known event. It was the first time it was on UVO campus. The Alzheimer's Association collaborated with us, and they're in hopes of keeping it an annual thing. We were able to raise over, I believe it was over $17,000 for the donations towards the association. However, with that, since it was a collaboration with the outside organization from UVO, it brought a lot of communication, and it was basically one middleman. So Neuroscience Club was the middleman for that communication, which led to some miscommunication because it was one person who was in contact. So with that, our account was charged without us knowing of a final invoice, and our student coordinator who was from scheduling and events was supposed to let us know that in order for this to be paid for, we first need to get a final invoice. But with that, like I said, our account was charged without us realizing that, resulting in our account to hit the negatives and being frozen. As such, the finance department told us that the funds were already charged as I fees, and even if the association reimbursed us now, we would still have to come to Senate to request surplus to zero out that line. So that's for the first part. Also, in total, we're asking to request about $2,200, so the $1,500 would go towards that event. The next thing we were coming to talk to you guys about was the other half of the 1,500 would be going towards our merch. Our organization is also newly founded. It's been officially about 1 year since our founding of the organization. And so we were just hoping that students are able to get merchandise. We also have UO branding, and we're in the works of getting that approved as well. And there's potential that we're going to have a student also design, so a student can also get that to you guys. But as far as merchandise, we're still kind of up in the air, whether that will be stickers, a tablecloth, or actual crew necks.
Great, thank you so much. Out of curiosity, I totally understand it's super hard when you're working with like different orgs and so many moving parts. What are the things that you guys have done to make sure like it doesn't happen in the future?
Yes, so we're actually already planning for the general Alzheimer's for next year already. With that, it just came with more planning. And I think now that we have an overall grasp on exactly how this event should be run, and not only what goes into it, but also with the scheduling and event services here at the EMU, making sure that they understand that we need to make sure we have that final invoice before they go ahead and continue to push out the charge that they need to charge our account with. It came down to ultimately making sure we'll have more communication, and also making sure we actually are in the upbringings of also new elections. So we're having an internship program right now with students who are all on the board and actually hosting their own whole meeting. So they are also aware of what's being taken place to actually take this event next year as well. So they'll know what the treasurer has been doing and what they should be preparing for next year.
Thank you, I appreciate it. It's not just you, it's a very complicated, long process, so I totally understand. I was just curious. Madariaga?
I just wanted to like explicitly express support for this because I think it's a really good like cause that you're working for, and I actually volunteer with the Alzheimer's Association, so I'm a little biased, but I got started at the last Walk to End Alzheimer's in the fall, so I think it's really cool. And then, sorry, do we have a motion? Okay, I'll go ahead and do that as well. Okay. I move to authorize spending from surplus to Group Neuroscience Club, OS number OS358I, in the amount of $2,200. I yield.
Motion made by Madariaga, seconded by Chisholm. Move forward with the
Hi, thanks for coming tonight. I just more wanted to make a comment about whenever you go through merch, since we just had the situation a second ago. Just make sure you go through UO branding, if it is like something that you wanna like put the name on it and just have a lot of restrictions about like what you want it tied to. So make sure to get that approved, before you. Thank you.
motion out with this. Wonderful, starting with Perez. Aye. Smith.
Aye.
Broussard. Aye. Copperhead.
Aye.
Heffernan.
Aye.
Amadea. Jenkins Hiscox. Chisholm. Nagarajan.
Aye.
Stevenson. Bill. Ralph. Aye. Fisher.
Aye.
West.
Aye.
Lindemann.
Aye.
And I say as well. Congrats.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up on the agenda is the Chinese Student Association. Formerly known as Chinese Hong Kong. Welcome in, new name.
Yeah. Exciting. All right. So my name is Grace Lee, and I'm the treasurer for Chinese Student Association, formerly known as Chinese Hainan. I'm Chloe, and I'm an intern for Chinese Student Association, formerly known as Chinese.
And my name is Ethan Wu. I am the vice president of the Chinese Student Association, formerly known as Chinese Contact as well.
Yeah, so today we're requesting $900 in surplus going towards our recruitment event line item, which allocates money for our weekly general meetings. Currently, there sits $1,120 in the line item, I believe, after transferring money from our study night line item to event. Due to our shortage in funds, we have for now canceled our plans for our short-term study night that we have done for a couple of years now, and as well as our general retreat. And we are also iffy on our Lunar New Year event line item as well. So the 900 that we're requesting would go towards reinstating our study nights, giving us more flexibility for our general meetings, allowing us to spend for larger events or more freely for any activity that we have planned, and also giving us more flexibility for our upcoming higher event in collaboration with Taiwanese Student Association. For hearing our request.
Coming back because you guys are growing, and so I'm gonna go ahead and make the motion. I move to authorize funding association, it's number 292I and about 900 to recruitment event.
Motion made by Chisholm, seconded by Stevenson. Question. You guys didn't get a budget, right? That's why you guys have been making the request periodically.
We did get a budget this year, although it was about 2,500 that we had for the whole year, not including stipends, and like double that already. So.
And I know you've answered multiple times in the past, but how many people on average have you guys been having on your events?
30 to 50.
It's nice to be here. I just had a quick question specifically about the Lunar New Year funding, because correct me if I could be very wrong, please correct me. The request back in November for 1,200 that was for Lunar New Year, what ended up happening?
Oh, we're still using all of it. Our breakdown right now is like 2,500 for food, and then we're also paying White Lotus Alliance 500. And currently we're looking at options and things which we're still unsure exactly on that thing. So, I mean, this request is mainly for a recruitment event, but like on the chance that we did have to spend more than expected for Lunar New Year, we would have that flexibility.
Perfect, thank you. And then in terms of the periodic request, I'm just curious, do you know, like, if you might need more in spring term, or is it by term or the year situation? That might not make sense.
No, I mean, I think for now, like we're planning to use for the rest of the year.
Thank you, I don't.
List, I have a motion now. Roll call with Perez, Smith. Broussard. Offerman. Heffernan. Gibbon. Jenkins Scott. Chisholm. Nagarajan. Stevenson. Purdue. Burrell. Madariaga. Fisher. Westenberry. Lindemann. And I say aye as well.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, guys. And next up, we have the radical organizing resource, the active resource center. Welcome to.
Buddy, nice to see you. Thanks for having us tonight. I'm Valentine. I'm one of the folks who does a lot of work in the Roar. Also, Brad Cole, who's the director of the Resource Center. And yeah, we can kind of take you through this request and kind of get into it. So yeah, we're basically here to request funding for one of Roar's big projects this year, which is the People's Guide. We can move us forward. Yeah, so the People's Guide is essentially a tour guide we've written for the campus that looks at all sorts of different places that seem pretty ordinary at first. But what makes it special is we dive into the histories of what happened at the places decade after decade, where students, workers, and community members have really taken responsibility and, as we say, you know, where they've confronted, challenged, lost, and won in their battles against oppression. So it includes an analysis of power that recasts exclusionary narratives of faith. What we mean by that is, like, most of the buildings here are just named after like university presidents, typically like older white men who donated money to the institution. It doesn't necessarily tell stories of the people who went to school in the building, the people who built the building, the people who fought to create the program that we have here. So that's kind of the purpose of the guide. The next slide has a little trailer I made for it. I know you guys are always running through stuff a lot of time. It's only like a minute if you want to watch it. It's pretty cool. We can also go on, up to you.
We'd love to watch.
Okay, it's super thick. I loved it. My friend Jake put it together. So yeah, I wanted to mention those tours are tomorrow, Friday. If you're interested, you can see this kind of thing in action. And we're really excited to welcome people from across the world to these tours tomorrow. Actually, quite. So yeah, that's the guide. It's online. You can come down to the Word Center and get your own copy, or check it out on Scholar Bank or on Internet Archive. It's just kind of a view of the inside. And keep rolling.
Basically, the whole point and one of the big things we emphasize is like this is for all students. We lead the tours, but also, with guided you can take your own tour, you can lead your own tour. There's two different ones right now. There's one for kind of central campus, these kind of older kind of campus buildings and stuff, and then there's one for the campus edge, which has a lot of different varying histories. Go through that. Yeah, we'll click through these really fast. But here's just some examples of some things. Here's some two places that the Pioneer Center used to be. 13th Avenue, not always closed to campus just for people to walk. If you go to the next slide, students actually closed it themselves in the 70s during the anti-war movement. And that was actually the reason that there's no funds for it, because students decided to close it. And then, of course, the guide doesn't just look at more singular moments of activism, it's also like a commemorative tool. So the BCC opened in 2019, but it actually, if you go to the next slide, was the product of almost 60 years of Black student activism and organizing on the campus that culminated in 2019 with this opening. It also kind of tells more commemorative. And so, yeah, fall term, we had a lot of great engagement with this. We distributed over 200 of the guides that we were able to print through the Roar's budget. We had 5 tours. We had a reading group over winter break that read the guide. And we were lucky enough to get some cool awards for it. And then on the next slide, for the rest of the year, we have another 5 tours at least scheduled. And for any of you and any of the groups that you're in your various capacities would like it for, we have one for you if you just reach out to the Roar. And we also hope, as you see from the end of the request, what we're requesting for is more printing to print more guides, because we're pretty much already out of what we made. And so we hope to, distribute as many as possible. And yeah, we're also building a website and I'm going to do some tabling to get directly to students. Yeah, and so I think, and of course, we're not stopping with what we've written. Right now, we're actually actively writing a tour guide that's the same exact size of the current one, but it exclusively focuses on the EMU. So the building was built, students built it, students used to own it, we don't anymore, so we're looking into the history of ownership. And then right now I'm doing kind of interviews with all of the different student programs, including like the Women's Center, the MTC, some of the student unions in the MTC, the QA, and then the Roar. Hopefully it's through the main basis as well. Yeah. So what we're actually looking for is essentially we're coming to surplus because this is like a unique project that the Roar doesn't budget in its yearly budget process. It's something that's only really going to happen in this academic year because this is, the students that are working on it, including myself, are primarily upperclassmen. So the project, we don't expect it to be active in the same way in the future. So we're hoping to request more funds to print a lot more of them right now because we have the chance to get a bulk of them and be able to hand them out. As you saw from prior note, we're hoping to do like direct outreach. And right now, we don't really have any outreach supplies in the Roar for tabling. So we'd like to actually buy a lot of different things. So if we run out of guides, we can have like leaflets, for example, that QR code to the online version. So people can still access the information even if we do run out in the future. And then there's a couple of things like as part of the ongoing research, we're finding archives that we want to make accessible to students. So we have some like old VHS tapes that there's no player at the school that will read them because they're a weird format. So we're hoping to pay to get digitized because they include footage of past students. And so, yeah, and then the last little thing is to this point, we've leveraged, so we've received and used over $7,000 of outside student work fund or funds that were not student work funds for this project, mainly from the Just Futures Institute, the College of Arts and Science, and the Department of Indigenous Race and Ethnic Studies have all been brilliant in their support of this subject. So we're kind of coming back to surplus, hoping for some more student support because we really tapped this. And yeah, there's a couple more slides about why we want the request, but I think you get the point. It's a really incredible project that I'm proud of. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. I think this is really cool. I think knowledge is definitely power. It's a conversation about all things that they've won themselves. And I think we make creative work, so thank you. We'll start with Senator Hufford.
Being here. I met with Valentine to help work on this request, and I have known the people who have written the People's Guide for years and have the privilege to work with so many of y'all organizing. And yeah, I'm gonna make the motion. I move to authorize spending from surplus to Group 4 OS number OS089I in the amount of $5,114 to line item coalitions and campaigns.
Second, Westbury.
Operative, second by Questenberry.
And I was also gonna make the motion, but I also have a question. Is there at all any maybe like little Easter eggs or references to the Axioms for Organizers by Fred Ross in the People's Guide?
There is actually, yeah. In the introduction, we take Don Mitchell's new axioms. I don't know if you know that. Yeah, no, beautiful writing. And that's actually like one of the foundational readings of introduction of the guide. So I hope you get to read it.
I would love a copy and I will read it. Thank you, I yield.
Senator Stevenson. Senator Fisher, I can get you a copy.
Yes, please.
Before I ask my question, how was the Jared Morgan event?
Oh my gosh, it was really great. Yeah, the BMA, BSU, NABJ, and Grove Garden just put on a really awesome collaborative event at the Black Cultural Center called Black for Land, about like diaspora healing and like Black agriculture. It was really awesome. Closed at the start of it. So really cool, kind of a whole different thing. But the garden's written about in the guide, so you get to learn about how it's collaborating more with different.
As a gentle reminder to any senators that are interested, the Grove Garden hasn't yet, right? It has not. If anyone is interested, please Teams me. We are going to be at the garden, or at least I am. Thank you, IU.
When?
Oh, when? Sorry. 2 to 4 on Sundays, actually. And if you want to be added to our newsletter, we have a lot of during the week stuff. All right.
I decided to try a couple of things, happy families and friends. Very cool. Do you have a printing waiver to use copy shop or email?
Yeah, we do. We went with Eagle Web Press at first, but I just got a copy shop for this request quote for that amount because it seems they're going to be able to offer us a better rate. So I already have a printer for that. Yeah.
Okay, nice. And is the only way that y'all are distributing it at school or like the general?
We've thought about the rack. I think one reason we're thinking the tabling and then having it available in the center is because we'll think they'll go really fast if we put them all out at once. I think we'd be open to putting like a limited amount on the racks, especially like in more corners of campus where we won't be able to.
Senator Perez. Yeah, thanks for being here. That was a great presentation. I really love the idea of this. I didn't know this was a thing, so it's really cool. But just from your slideshow and going off of, I believe you said you had 200 copies last time.
We had 300 printed through the ROAR like annual budget, and we've already distributed about 200 when I made this, probably closer to 2 now.
Gotcha. And then do you guys see demand for that 1,000 jump?
Yeah, so we got them, they arrived on like December 1st. And we so just in the like last weeks of winter and then the first 2 weeks of fall 100. And also part of the idea of printing so many is like knowing that I won't be here next year, that they're available, they'll be distributed, because I know like each year the whole, infrastructure of the org and ASUO stuff will change and it might be hard to come back again and get more. So the idea is kind of like hopefully help it stick around.
Yeah, yield.
Starting with Perez. Smith.
Aye.
Broussard. Operative. Heffernan. Ahmad-Diafed. Jenkins Hiscox. Chisholm. Nagarajan.
Aye.
Stevenson. Purdue.
Aye.
Morel. Mariaga.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Questenberry.
Aye.
Ludeman.
Aye.
9 to as well. Congrats.
Student association.
Keep hanging out all night.
Well, night, it's not even 8:30.
You're gonna start whatever you want. Thanks for coming.
Hi, so I'm John. I'm the internal affairs for VSA. Student Association, and we are requesting $7,000 for our annual poker show, which is occurring on April 12th. We usually have around 250 people attend. From parents to students of other poker clubs to community members as well. This $1,000 is going to go towards our practice room bookings for dance practices in the recreation center, as well as for a potential guest performer. We're in talks with the Vietnamese American singer Emia. And that it costs around $5,000. Yeah, happy to answer any questions.
Thank you so much for sharing. What exactly is the 7,000 that you're asking for? What is it going to be allocated directly into with the event? Like the
Yeah, so right now with this surplus, we would have 16,500 in July. 6,000 of that to go towards catering, 5,000 towards guest performer, 500 towards practice room bookings, recreation center. It's gonna go towards things like live dance performances and decorations.
awesome. Thank you for answering. Chris.
Yeah, thank you for being here. Is the rec rooms the only options you guys have for practicing?
They are the best option because they have the mirror rooms, and I don't think anywhere else on campus has those, which is why we try our best to reserve those. And we can take a lot of seating.
Thank you, I yield.
And then is this an event that you guys, I'm in support of this by the way, but is this an event that you guys have had to in the past, like come asks about surplus or so forth? Is this kind of like right prices?
I think we usually surplus a lot. I think last year was over 10,000 at least. Okay.
Thank you. Senator Chisholm.
So you're saying that 5,000 is going to the guest? Could you tell me like why you guys really?
Yeah, he's a Vietnamese American singer, so we're hoping she's talk about her background a little bit and highlight how her Vietnamese background helped her become successful.
Awesome. And it's for this. I know that culture events are really expensive and all of. It sounds really cool, so I'm excited to go to read that. I moved to authorized spending from surplus. Vietnamese Student Association was number 092I to line item culture events. So the Fisher.
Motion made by Chisholm, seconded by Fisher. And Senator Fisher.
I yield.
If there are no more questions, then.
As a point of order, did Senator Chisholm say the number?
Okay. I moved the authorized spending from surplus to Vietnamese Association OS number 092I in the amount of 7,000. Second, culture events.
Second, motion mentioned, seconded by Fisher. Thank you, Senator Stevenson. And by the way, when you do point of order, you actually don't have to raise your flag. All right. And Senator Smith.
Hi, James. I was just wondering how many like practices you guys have scheduled and how much is it per practice?
Although I know the total is around 4,600, and we're practicing throughout winter term, so it's probably around 11 or 12 weeks total. I'm not sure how many we do every week, but $60 an hour to practice in those rooms.
Okay. I yield.
Stevenson.
I don't know if it's been looked into or not, but do you know if it would cost more or less? I know clubs like Ballroom Dance use the Curlinger Annex, and on the top story they have a very large room with mirrors. Do you know if that would cost more or less? Does anyone? Or
I yield to Senator Smith.
I'm pretty sure the annex is also rec. I could totally be off. The other option that people usually do for dancing is scheduling and event services. It's technically free for certain rooms, but it kind of doesn't have mirrors. We don't have any mirrors, and you either get a classroom or you can get booted out of your room at any point for something. So
Okay, thank you. I yield. Any questions? Perez, Smith,
aye.
Broussard, Offerman,
Aye.
Aye. Ahmadiyya, Jacob Fiscott,
Aye.
Chisholm, Natarajan. That's aye.
Yes, aye.
Stevenson, Purdue,
Aye.
Morel, Dariaga, Fisher,
Aye.
Westbury,
Aye.
Ludeman,
Aye.
and I say aye. Congrats, guys. Thank you. And next up, we have the busy.
Hi, I have the rest of my group coming in right now. Yes.
We're all so excited.
It's so cute.
That's the best.
Here. I would say. Everybody, my name is Julian. I am the business manager of DeVisi. And today we are here to raise some money to go to a festival in Boston. DeVisi is U of O's premier treble a cappella group. Since 2001, we have been creating and performing high quality music, cultivating an inclusive environment, and constantly pushing boundaries in the a cappella community. We perform all over the country, compete in the ICCAs, and recorded multiple albums. And the movie Pitch Perfect was based off the DeVisi group from 2005. And we'd like to start the presentation off with a little song for you guys. Keep on falling. And I love with you. Sometimes I laugh. Sometimes you make me blue. Ooh, sometimes I feel good. Sometimes I feel. At times I feel you. Sometimes I feel so good. Loving you, darling, gets me so confused. Loving you, so confused. I keep on falling in love with you. I never lost someone with I love you. I'll take it Oh, baby,
With you, love someone way that I love you.
That was amazing.
So we started with the actual pitch now. Um, so today, thank you for listening, by the way. It's always fun to say. Thank you. Today we are requesting a total of $12,600 to attend, compete, and participate in Boston City's Acapella Festival on April 10th to 12th, 2026 in Somerville, Massachusetts. These funds will go towards our travels, including airfare and lodgings, as well as all access passes for 14 people. We're a couple slides.
Just let me know when to go to the next.
Hi, I'm Alexa from the Assistant Business Manager. So this is our cost breakdown. So we broke it down into a couple categories. We have our airfare flight category. To calculate that number, $7,000. We went on to Expedia and we averaged the most expensive and then the cheapest flights to find the in between, and we got 7,000 to encompass the 14 flights that we would need to cover. Of course, this is our estimate, and we would book the cheapest flights we could with the refundable guideline, of course, in order to keep costs down. And then next category, lodging. Similarly, we assessed the cheapest and most expensive hotels and got a $5,000 average for 14 people to split into 4 rooms. Again, this is just an estimate, and when booking, we would search for the cheaper options. And then for our food category, again, we calculated off of the per diem rule. After discussing this with the group, and after a lot of fundraising, we were able to pay for this on our own, and whatever remainder we pay for out of pocket on our members. So we included this for the total, but it would be coming out of ourselves. And then we have the passes. So in order to compete in any of these festivals, you have to buy a pass. It has to be the all access pass. There's no other pure option. We did do a lot in advance, so we're doing it like way ahead of time. So we get the early bird access pass, which saves us, oh my gosh, normally it's $90, but we're down to $65 per pass, which is a pretty good deal in our opinion, especially compared to the other festivals we looked at. So for 14 people, that adds up to $910. So when you add all of the numbers up, it comes to a total of $17,418. But with our fundraising and our accommodations with payment out of pocket, it would come down to $12,600. Next slide. So then we have our itinerary. Because the event is still a few months away, we only have like a loose itinerary overall. We plan on leaving Thursday, April 9th in the morning because it's around a 7-hour flight. And so we want to get there in the evening so we can rest for the competition the next day. The festival is held in Somerville, which is about a 10-minute drive outside of Boston. So a little bit of a misleading name, Boston. So, it's a 10-minute drive about, so we might not be able to walk. We're planning on Ubering or lifting, but again, those costs we would try and accommodate from our own fundraising. And then the next day, April 10th, yes, is the actual competition, be in the evening again. We usually spend the morning and even the early afternoon rehearsing and prepping for the competition. And then, that evening was when everything happened. And then we would return to the hotel. And then Saturday, April 11th, in the morning, we would depart for the Somerville Theater for master classes. And those are with professionals in the acapella community. And they come into coach group in a variety of coach groups in a variety of categories, including microphone technique, movement, leadership skills, a bunch of stuff across. These tend to take all day. And then that evening we return to our hotel, and then the next day is like there's an extra day festival, but we decided to, especially to just consolidate budget. It's more like an award ceremony for a different category, so we figured we cut it short, cut that. Yeah, and then I think, that's our flight section. What I found when I was researching it. So that's like a possible option for flights. Yeah, next slide, please. Okay, and then this is our fundraising. So again, I have it in a couple different categories. So our previously raised is the amount that we fundraised this year alone, up until now. So over the past year, DVC has made our priority to fundraise as much as possible, specifically for this trip. So far, we've raised $3,196.45. These funds come from a variety of sources, typically from local gigs. We charge an average of $300 per gig. So we've had a couple across campus and also across town, which is really cool. And then we've also had some off-campus bake sales, which have totaled $346. And then we've had some independent merchandise sales, which is I bought a pin press and started making pins. $50 in profit. And then $1,000 in donation from friends and family. If we continue on this path, constant fundraising with more gigs, which we already have, I think $1,000 in gigs lined up for the rest of this year, just as of right now. And then more fundraising events like bake sales, merchandise sales, and other donations. We expect to raise an additional $2,000 at least. That's just what we have forecasted with our current. And yeah, these funds would go towards any additional costs and fees like while traveling, like food, transportation, incidental fees, or any other issues with booking. Next slide, please. We just have like some other cost saving measures. For example, like mentioned earlier, we're gonna pay for group meals out of like the DVC fund with like the money that we use for fundraising. The team, us three, have worked really hard on this trip and finding the cheapest yet like most reliable flights and lodging. So instead of assigning like 2 people per room, there's gonna be 4 people and we're gonna like share beds and things like that, and 5 people if needed. When it comes to flights, we were just intending to book as cheap as possible and book on days where flights are cheaper, like Wednesday. So currently the cheapest flights are in the low 400s and most expensive are in like high 600s, which is like a 3,800 price difference. So we're trying to keep in the low 400s. Even though Boston is fun and historical city with lots of sightseeing, we're using these funds only for travel and needed fees. And finally, CASA, the Contemporary Acapella Society, offers a scholarship which we have applied for, but we don't know if we have gotten it and how much we would get if we do receive that scholarship. So what is Boston Sings? From their website, the Scholastic competition is notorious for being weird and wonderful, guided by a unique artistic prompt each year, which DVC is known for our unique sound and visuals, which fits right in with the Boston Sings theme. The competition is hosted by CASA, which is a nationally recognized major a cappella society in the community, known for hosting many festivals across the nation, such as LAF, which the LA Acapella Festival, which we are heading to also, and SoJam. Many a cappella groups from across the nation will be attending, as well as a cappella professionals. And over the last 3 years, there has been no West Coast representation in the Scholastic competition, which is where we intend to be. And the last time DVC attended this festival was in 2017. A little while.
And how does this trip support our mission? The DVC's mission in our bylaws is to offer the singers of the University of Oregon a high-quality treble a cappella group to take part in, to provide audiences with high-quality performances, to offer members a once-in-a-lifetime performance and travel opportunities, and to create community through music that lasts a lifetime. VC strives to bring audiences an experience that only treble voices, divided in harmony, yet undivided in purpose, can provide. This supports our mission by providing our members with opportunities to travel and perform across the nation, as well as develop our skill to bring back to the rest of UO. Through bettering our group and sound, we can perform higher quality music for the UO community. Next slide. University benefits. So competing at BOSS is a fantastic opportunity for the VC and the members in the group. There are plenty of university benefits as well. For example, this competition will put UO Acapella on the national map. We're already known for being the group that inspired Perfect, but aside from West Coast acapella scene, we don't exactly get the opportunity to share our talents and show off our amazing community to the country. And so BOSS allows us to make a name for ourselves in a famously excellent acapella scene in the East Coast. Additionally, BOSS will provide us with important lessons, both musically and in life, that we can share with our acapella friends and the UO community. What we learn and bring back can help the entire acapella community grow around us, grow stronger, and sound even better. Finally, this festival will establish the VC and UO as a highly competitive and quality university for music, which will draw in more students from the East Coast and draw attention to our arts and academics. If none of you guys know, the UO choir program is excellent, and almost half of our members are in the chamber choir, which was the champion in the New Zealand World Choir Games. Incredible. And we want to be able to showcase skills from one of the top choirs in the world at this festival. Next slide. As mentioned previously, this festival will be a fantastic opportunity for our members and will greatly benefit to BC. BOSS gives us an opportunity to improve our sound and technique through participating in master classes taught by acapella and music professionals. Boston and the East Coast is known for an acapella technique, the opportunity to work with some amazing professionals that will teach classes on a variety of topics like mic technique, beatboxing, movement, and more. Competition also encourages us to be constantly improving our sound and our sound, and will drive our passion for the group and acapella. From our club mission, we aim to provide once-in-a-lifetime opportunities for our members, and this festival and competition will help us do exactly that. Competing against other groups will make us a better group by not only preparing to compete in this competition, but by learning what we can from groups professionals on the East Coast and implementing it. These workshops will also be important for advancing professional skills. A lot of people in this group plan on becoming music teachers, releasing music, joining professional choirs and ensembles, and much more. And the skills we learn from these workshops show us ways to teach music and grow as musicians. There are even workshops that are applicable for those like myself that aren't going into careers involving music. I went to LAF 2 years ago, and I took a leadership class and a class on how to plan like retreats and maximize bonding. And I not only bring those skills to the VC now, but those are skills that I'll bring with me to jobs in the future. And finally, going to BOSS will allow us to network with people in the acapella and music community that can not only benefit the VC, but also those who are pursuing music careers outside of the group. These connections can help the group by finding those in the community that are able to do arrangements, mix music, give advice, and provide professional opportunities and experiences to our members. Next slide. Thank you.
Thanks again for your great performance and for your presentation. It seems like a very well planned out trip. So thanks for all the effort you guys have put into planning this and cutting costs where you can, and fundraising, all that. In adhering to our financial priorities for the year, we haven't funded a trip at over $12,000 yet for the year. If you feel like we're discussing around a $12,000 amount, how do you feel like that would impact your trip?
So it was $600, unless you cut in $600.
We haven't yet, in our financial priorities for East Coast trips, we stated that we would like to not fund it over $12,000 for an East Coast trip, and we haven't yet this whole year. So just in trying to be equitable, I would like to discuss around $12,000 because it does seem like an amazing trip.
I think $12,000. Yeah. I think we would take $12,000. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. We will start discussion with Senator Fisher.
Hi guys, I've got a lot of stuff. I hope it doesn't scare you. First of all, that was amazing, and thank you so much. I wish you could have gone first, so everyone else also had to list that. That was phenomenal. Okay, first thing I have to do it because Marisol's not here to do it, and I have to give her her dues. We're good on all the forms, right? Intent to travel, all the forms. Are we good on all the forms?
I finished the surplus form. I have everything ready for all the intent to travel forms. Just not yet submitted because it's in April, so I still want that.
So intent to travel. You haven't had it as accepted?
Well, they haven't, it has been submitted. That's why I'm, that's what
Yeah,
I saw you.
we can't, so intent to travel is step one of the travel process, and Senate is step two of the travel process. So until an improvement step travel form is here, we can't vote on travel request. But I can guarantee you the first next week, if we can pick up right where we started, and I can work with you this week and we can get that form as quick as possible, because I know we're coming up against it, but like, we'll get that done. I'm just so sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
I usually check each week and it must have just been oversight on my part, so I take it.
I should have known.
And if someone will table the request, I'll reach out to you guys after this meeting tomorrow and we'll connect.
Okay, I can submit an intent to travel.
Thank you.
It is not your fault. The whole thing is so confusing and we all know. You are doing your very best. That's okay. I move to table this request until next week. I would like this request to be first next week.
Second, Stevenson.
Motion made by Fisher, seconded by Stevenson. There are still people on the list. I'll call on you and you can yield if you don't want to speak still. Smith?
Yeah. We're doing it next week. I yield. Thank you.
We're sorry. Purdue?
Yield.
Perez? Those in favor say aye. Aye. Senator Chisholm.
I think so. I just have this question quite frankly next week. There was another competition. Would you guys offer to back with that? Sure. No. Okay.
A motion to table the request is on the floor. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say nay. And the motion has been tabled. You'll be first next week and I'll reach out to you guys. Thank you.
I'm only half joking, but what are the chances you all come back and perform again? I'm only half joking.
In front of everyone?
We'll ask the rest of the group if they really want to.
Okay, thanks.
All right, and that concludes financial business for the evening. We'll now move into updates, starting with the program's finance committee. Senator Peters is here, Vice Chair Fisher.
Yeah, I just came from our appeals hearings, which we just finished. So that's fun. It's our last budget hearings. We are unfortunately we are over our benchmark by a couple tens of thousands of dollars. So we're starting to talk about recalls. That's what the rest of the committee is doing downstairs right now. So yeah, that's pretty much all the updates we have.
CFD Vice Chair, Senator Taylor. Senator Smith.
I think we talked about the OSA plan last time, so I don't have anything.
Yeah, from my conversations with that, what's happened so far is that I figured out we can do $50,000 without doing a procurement process. So we can just do a pilot program for 1 year, call it good. We just got to find people. And moving to the Department of Finance Committee, Senator Hofferdeck.
Hey everybody, thanks for coming to our budget hearings. You know, we're all done. Voted on the budget. If you want to see that, it's in the spreadsheet if you're curious. And yeah, we're super excited for Budget Bonanza. Things shook out really well. So if you look at the spreadsheet, we are under by, I believe, about $46,000. Yep, $46,000 below one. So that's negative 1%, which is crazy. All right,
Thank you. And then moving into Senate executive updates, Academic Chair Stevenson.
Hello, everyone. Tomorrow is the last day of class wraps. We are starting the database and we have hit just below 400 students, and I have a lot more to go through, and so does Priscilla. And yeah, the community garden is going to be moving soon. Oh, And before I forget, I would like to yield some of my time to Senator Madriaga. Would you like to talk about any more details on the event?
Yeah, Bob, sorry. So I presented this to AC, but I'm doing planning like a clothing drive for a women's shelter in Eugene. And basically, just to let you all know, I'm gonna be making like a sign up sheet for volunteer time slots, so look out for that. But it won't be starting until like after the finance stuff is officially done. So like, don't worry about it like running into like budgets and like meetings. So it'll be starting like after the budget bonanza thing. So, but yeah, just to like be on the lookout for that. And please volunteer. It's gonna help a lot of people and it'll be super cool. So yeah, I think that's it.
And before I leave off, I would like to thank all of academic committee for being able to do the class wraps. I know that it's a lot and it's new, but yeah, I appreciate you all. Thank you. Thank you.
Also, or Senator Brett or Treasurer Perez. Nothing from me. Ombudsperson person.
Thank you. I don't have a lot, but I am currently working on setting up an event for just like a review of finances, but going into budget bonanza. I'm saying this as the ombudsperson because it will also be an opportunity for anyone that has not completed their committee hearings to make up some of that now that they all have ended. I highly, highly, highly recommend going, especially because you're all going to be participating in budget bonanza. It will be next week, Thursday evening. I'm not sure the exact hour yet, but that'll be like emails, Teams, and I will remind you again about it next week. And that's it. Update. Reminder again and again, budget bonanza next Saturday, the 31st, but everyone has to be there. It's mandatory. The only Saturday we're looking for. And also just a thought that I had during this meeting while the board was presenting, would anyone want like an ASUO, like kind of like group led tour for people's guys as a little like bonding event? Good vibes on that? Okay. We will throw it out there and do like an all ASUO.
I'm gonna start. I would like to, now that we're getting through budget season, get committee work more organized and back on track. A show of hands, who that was slated to be in a US Senate committee was never reached out to.
I got added to it.
That was an internal Senate committee. These are ones that are like underneath the back piece of it. Bella. Followed them a few times now. I'm happy to have this here. Honestly, we need to talk about it. I know that.
Anybody else?
All right, awesome. And then budget bonanza, have to be there. Please be there. It's very important. And if you are unsure about anything, go to the training because this is important. The ASUO budget is one of the biggest things we do, and all of you guys, including academic senators, have a say in this budget. If you show up and like you look at the budget and you see something you don't like, see something you have a question about, like let's ask questions, and it allows you guys to advocate for your constituencies better when you understand what's happening in the budget. So if you have any questions, please show up to the training. Very important. And if you have to show up, definitely show up.
I just want to say, for the committee things, I've been teaming people and trying to figure out which ones were actually like reached out to and completed, which ones weren't. The only one I don't know about is scholarships. Has anyone ever heard of that? Like, has anyone been emailed about it at all? Okay, thank you. The training will be Thursday evening. I'm not exactly sure the time, probably 5 p.m. tomorrow. No, the following week. And then Budget Bonanza is Saturday the 31st. And that. 9 a.m. And
There will be breakfast provided.
there will be.
Like if
Like I would say, like Senate kind of energy.
Right. It needs to be, we're just, I'm thinking it's gonna be good, but I don't wanna say anything else.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry.
I have a question.
Alright, guys, let's not got it right now.
I just have a quick question. Do you happen to know what kind of breakfast we're
They have like an assortment of breakfast food, like eggs,
like
meat,
bagels and
fruits, and yogurt.
Yes, maybe we can do
I mean, that's what it was last year.
I just ordered it. It's
Sorry, better answer. Better answer.
It's like the standard breakfast thing that's on the UO website. There are different options. There's a yogurt parfait situation, scrambled eggs, various types of breads. Yeah, kind of like a typical spread.
Okay, fire.
Alright, and then just a little context for after budget season, after 31st, we will kind of be moving into a lot more committee work, a lot more projects, a lot more taking guidance from academic committee, and a lot more involvement in just trying to do things around campus, working with exec. So if anybody's wondering kind of what we shift to after budget season, it'll be a lot more project oriented. So come up with projects now, collaborate with people, think about things you want to address on campus, because almost halfway done. I would like to do a lot more. So that is it for my update. And the executive branch update from Chief of Staff Daphne Patrick.
Guys, thanks for having me. Okay, just a few things. Exec is happy to be hired and onboarded today, officially President O'Neill, TFS president. Oh, it's amazing to have her. We're so lucky as director of strategy. So she's going to be taking Amy Ducharme's role. And then additionally, our director of student engagement, Cash, was appointed to UO Senate Committee on Continuous Improvement and Teaching last week. So hopefully there'll be some good updates coming out of there. Priscilla and I have our regular bi-weekly standing meetings with Vice President for Student Life, Angela Chong, this Friday. And we're actually going to be hopefully getting to talk to Provost Long about continuation and hopefully a financial commitment from the Provost office to continue the library, 24-hour library program for winter term. I'm really excited about that. Okay, additionally, some things like coming next in the next week is State of the University, which is what y'all have been doing class rep for mainly. Shout out to Nicole. It's next week, Tuesday, January 27th. It's at 6 o'clock. It's an LS talk 101. There will be drinks, beverages, and then speaking of that, we're prepping for it, which means we're going to be doing a full day tabling that day on Tuesday, January 27th from 12 to 5. We still need a few volunteers. I sent Erin the form and you can just put your name into the time slot. If you have just an hour, we would appreciate commentating on State University, especially academic committee, since you've already been doing class wraps on this. That would be a huge help to our student engagement department. And then a couple other things, Student Code of Conduct Working Group out of exec has a pretty solid resolution drafted and is beginning to work on their second one now. Binding. And then just two legislative lobbying updates. The DC ASUO delegation has been selected as of yesterday, I believe, and planning for that is underway. And then also there's going to be one more lobby day
pushing for just final support and sponsorship to the Student Government Autonomy Bill. It's planned for Monday, February 9th. All officers are invited and encouraged to attend. More details to come in the all officers chat, but we're gonna have breakfast in the ASUO suite beforehand and just get into it. That's all.
Also put this in the chat just now if you do want to speak to that. It'd be very.
Ask the ombuds person if the volunteering at council office.
Yeah. Yeah, that counts.
You can probably mind too, but sure it even fit.
I was gonna say, on that note, I have to reach out to you about who's done boss wraps and.
All right, we will now move to the adjournment. Oh, Senator Johnson.
Right, Commissioners, the recording going, don't go with the aye. Those who say nay.
We are adjourned. Yeah, yeah. I don't. I haven't.